So I know that the majority of you all, possibly all of you, if you think about it, you know somebody that is a skeptic. You know, they're a doubter. They're one of those people that whenever you say, I'm going to do this, and it's unconventional, they say, oh man, you can't do that. Why would you do that? Oh, you need to get a real job. Whatever the case may be, right? Whenever you're an entrepreneur, you will deal with that.
Oh my goodness.
Whenever you're in commission-only sales, you will deal with that. Whenever you're doing anything outside of the norm, you will deal with that. You may know some people that are depressed, that are anxious, that are devoid of hope. You know, if you know someone like that, let me hear you say I know I know several. I know quite a few. And I've tried to coach some of these people through that. It's something that they've got to be ready for, right? When the pain of your everyday struggle is less than the pain of you wondering what if, then you might try something new. So these people that are filled with doubt, I want to share with you 3 quick stories, and I say very quick stories, about 3 people that were filled with this doubt and why my vision and the vision of others was so important. You remember James Perry, David? So we worked with a guy named James Perry, great guy, made it to sales manager in Combined Insurance Company, and I got a call from my district manager, John, one day, one of my first mentors, John Whitaker. And he's the one that originally came up with the name, the Dream Achievers, okay? So John told me, he said, James just put in his 2 weeks notice. He's pretty bummed out. He's given up. I need you to go out with him next week and write 100 calls. I need you to go out there and write 100 units of insurance next week with James and give it to him, okay? I said, all right, bet. I'm up for it. He called me for a reason. I called James on Sunday. James, what's up, man? How's it going? How you feel? Oh, man, I'm tired. I'm all right. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, man? What's going on, AZ? Said, I just want you to know, we're going to go out this week and we're going to have a record-breaking week, man. You ready? And he said, yeah, I mean, I'll go out with you, you know, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you know, you don't get it. All right, it's done. The checks are written and waiting on those kitchen tables for us. It's complete. All we have to do is go out there and pick them up, my friend. That's it. He's like, all right, AZ, I'll go out there with you. We went out there Monday morning. James is a big old boy. That's a big dude. And I was practically dragging this guy through Irvine, Kentucky. All right, we went through Estill County, and I said, we're gonna write our 100 call on this street. We had an assignment, just like you'll get, just like I have, just like we're writing this week. And we went to the first house, second house. We worked systematically. We got leads. We got referrals from the people that we spoke with. My energy was up here. He wasn't dragging me down, okay? You can't remain around somebody with that sort of certainty and determination without you eventually rising, okay? Whenever, what is the quote is, whenever all water rises, all boats float.
All tides. Yeah, I got you.
Something to that effect, you know what I'm saying? You can't stay around somebody like that with a true PMA mindset that's ingrained in their DNA without it raising your vibration. So we wrote 26 units on Monday. He was starting to get a little bit excited. He was a little bit jacked up. Not quite. There was still that doubt there. We went out Tuesday and we wrote 29. Okay, he was starting to feel it. He was starting to allow himself to dream again. How many people, I wonder, in this room were at a place in their life at some point in time where hope was scary? Has anyone ever felt that?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I remember talking with James, and he wanted to go all in. He wanted to believe in himself. And it was scary. We went out Wednesday, and I said, today we're going to finish this 100 call. He had never seen anything more than about 20 units in a day. We went out Wednesday, we wrapped that up 45 units. We wrote most of it in one house. And then Thursday I went out by myself. I finished writing some more insurance and all that sort of thing, but I still had to make a paycheck for myself, and that was for James. That bought him another couple of years. You know, you couldn't have told him nothing after Wednesday. I'm telling you, he was on top of the world. Now, by the way, we only made like a couple $1,000s for that. We would have made like, I don't know, close to $10,000 maybe if we did that here now. You know, so I mean, it was a whole different world back then. So, but I had a vision. I saw it. I knew we had the 100 call written. I knew it. And I was so sure of it. No one could have talked me out of this. I saw it as clear as day. And it was my belief, my vision that led us through that week. And you're going to have people whenever you have your own team that might be going through some things, whatever the case may be. And you've got to have that vision. And our job is, in leadership, Mitch, Amanda, is to help you with that. Now, another one is Joey Gray. Do you remember Joey Gray?
Mm-mm.
So we were in Ashland. This is a really good story. Shelby, I think you'll like this one. So we went out, new guy, and he was super cocky. I mean, super cocky, for no reason, really. We went out Monday. We didn't write anything. I mean, we stayed out till 9, 10 o'clock at night. We were in Ashland, Kentucky. And it was when my Camry broke down in the back of a holler. We went out Tuesday. I think we wrote like 4 units. It was nothing to write home about. Didn't even cover gas money. We went out Wednesday, and it was rainy. We went down a holler, this gravel road. My car broke down. This Wednesday has been shit. That's the official scientific word for this week so far. We hadn't made gas money. My car broke down. It's raining outside. We walk up this hill. We get to this house, and there's this big black dog that's just jumping all over me, getting me muddy. Most people would have probably not been super thrilled about the week thus far. I knock on the door, and I ask this guy if we can come in and use his phone. He has us stand in the rain. He brings us his phone. And so we call a tow truck. He gives us a ride almost an hour back to Ashland, Kentucky. Joey is pissed. He's so upset and he's depressed. He's willing to quit right then and there. Okay? Now, I know we pay into the law of large numbers. You marry the activities, divorce the results. Mm-hmm. Marry the activities, divorce the results. We had a saying in Combined, A plus A equals R. Attitude plus activities equals results. That's how this universe is set up. I can't even explain it. You might not have any results on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but if you're in the right activities Thursday, boom, it hits. Now, Wednesday, whenever this happened, we got back to the hotel, and Joey, I told him, I said, hey man, you go change, all right, take 5, get you something to eat if you want to, and let's rock. And he was like, man, I'm just gonna call the missus, I'm gonna stay in the room. I'm like, okay, but anything that I write, you know, whenever we aren't together, I ain't got to split with you. You know that. And we ain't made much money so far. Are you sure? He's like, yeah. So I get the address for the tow truck company. And I canvass my way there. You don't know this yet. You will find out. I don't like anything that stings. Bees, wasps, yellow jackets. I will run and throw you in the way. Okay. And and scream. Am I lying, David? You know it. And so I went canvassing, right, and got chased by a couple bees. I do remember. And it was about 1.5 miles, almost 2 miles down the road, I get to the tow trucks. And it was interesting how this played out, because the guy that owned the tow truck company, the towing company, he was the chief of the fire department. His wife was the head of the EMS. So I wrote policies on everybody in their towing company, including them. And then I got tons of referrals. And the next day we shared in good news because we were out of town. In the morning, they called on Joey to share the good news. And he had no idea that I had just written a boatload of insurance because he gave up. He was feeling sorry for himself. He was sitting in the hotel. And I knew already. Attitude plus activities equals results. Marry the activities, divorce the results. We've been in the right activities and it just hadn't paid us back yet. Yeah. And so I said, I've got some calls to make. I've got some things to do today. Let's me and you get back together and here's an assignment, go work your assignment systematically the way that you know. I went out Thursday and I wrote a ton of firefighters. I went back the next week, wrote a bunch of people at the EMS. Okay, do you remember this at all?
I don't think so.
And I mean, I probably pulled 200 plus units of insurance out of this. Okay, Napoleon Hill once said, with every adversity, there's a seed of equal or greater benefit for those who have a positive mental attitude. Definition of positive mental attitude: a state of mind that continues to seek, find, and execute ways to win regardless of situation or circumstance. Life was lifing, but you cannot be a man or woman that refuses to give up. It's never failure until you're dead. So the last story is not about me, okay? It's about a gentleman that you might have heard of, Walt Disney, right? He made a little theme park, made a couple bucks, but he never got to see his theme park finished. He was dead before it was built, which is a shame. But there's a story of a gentleman that whenever they were breaking ground, whenever they were cutting the ribbon for Disney World, he turned to Walt's widow and he said, it's a shame that Walt wasn't here to see this. And she said, correction. If Walt didn't first see this, we wouldn't be here.
That's good.
It's about developing a vision that's so crystal clear that if you close your eyes and you think about it, whenever you open your eyes, it's startling because in your mind, it's done. In your mind, it was already reality. You just needed to go pick up the checks, right?
Yeah.
So I want to encourage you to do one thing and then leave you with a quote. And I think Amanda has a call, but I want to encourage you to do one thing.
I just finished it.
Gotcha. And then wrap up with a quote, and I'll pass it over to Amanda. So I want you to take today, and Shelby has his test scheduled today. I'm so excited this afternoon. And so I'm just wondering who's next. I'm just wondering who's the next person to take their test. So I want you to decide. I want you to just today decide. Decide what your vision is going to be, what your commitment level is going to be. Decide what you're willing to do, what you're willing to give up maybe in order to get to this why that you're going to write down. Your why, I usually say, what do you want out of this besides money? And if it's money, what does that look like? What does that mean to you? Get very specific to develop that why. So much so that there's so much emotion in your pen when you're writing it, you shed a tear. That's very important to tie in your reason for doing something. Motivation, motive, a reason. Ation, Latin suffix, a reason for. What's your reason for doing what you're doing? Okay, so I want you to decide. Decide is broken down to two words, day and side, which means doubt and to kill. I want you to kill any doubt. Amanda can do it, over 10 grand a week. Oh my God. I can do it. I was here 6 years and had a stack of record-breaking plaques. I was a Grand Diamond Award achiever when I was here. Less than 1% of the company ever did that. President's Club and management, all that stuff. I can do it. And whenever she shows me how to do it the way they do it now, I'm gonna show you guys. And we'll get Mitch here. You'll get training from the best worksite solutions guy there is. It is a little warm in here.
It's hot. It won't go down anymore.
I don't
I
know.
had pulled out the church fan. I felt
So whatever you gotta do,
do.
whatever you gotta do to kill doubt, to decide, to crystallize that vision of whatever it is, that why, that dream life that you're striving towards. I want you to take that time while you're studying your test to do that, because that's so important. That way you can treat your business like a business. And there was a saint, Saint Augustine, that he said this quote, and it has been something that has stuck with me for years. And I wanted to make sure that I got the exact word for word written down. Faith is to believe what you do not yet see. The reward for faith is to see what you believe. So I want to encourage you guys to decide. Keep that faith. Keep the faith in us. Keep the faith in the system, in the 102-year-old company that you guys have been welcomed into. Because whatever life you want to create, whether it be the money, whether it be the personal development, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, we've got that. The culture, we're creating that in this agency. And sometime I want you to take a look at this whenever we got more time. I'll read it real quickly and then pass it over to Amanda. But our mission statement as an agency, the reason why we're doing this, the reason why we're going out every day, Monday through Friday, and I work Saturdays, is we do this for the single mom working 2 jobs, the underinsured grandparent wanting to provide a legacy, and the overworked father of 3 or 5, okay, for some of us, trying to provide for his family who can't afford to skip a paycheck due to sickness or accident. We go to market with intention and sincere passion, using combined training and systems, not just being professional students, but professional implementers. We lead our teams, our families, and our communities by example. We do this to educate and uplift our community as we become known in the community as a team and as individuals who help businesses and families within the community to stay on track with their professional and personal goals for their business and family development and legacies. We are the Dream Achievers, and we are also the American Dream Protectors. That's it. And so I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to our Field Development Manager, Miss Amanda Jones.